the Emperor. How did you foresee the Xenos ambush upon the Ultramarines?
Yes, we have planned for this.
Oh, so you already knew they're coming.
Yes, we do the killer, yes. You are wounded, brothers. But fear not. A portal is coming this way. My thanks. First, allow me to bear that boulder for you, brothers. Huh. Fear not, brothers. For I shall bear these holy boulders. Even here. Brothers, do you see my master crab landing heavy boulders? No, I didn't take it. I mean, no, brothers, I don't steal it.
What are you doing?
Hmm?
What are you doing?
Nothing. Me? Just hanging around.
This video is a little fun project I wanted to practice with NMM and to evaluate my ability to demonstrate value of colors. So please enjoy, and if you like what you see, you can also follow the recipe along this clip. Well, I started with lighting projection with black and white to create a value of contrast. This helps me to understand concept of light so I can imitate the whole picture in the same direction. I think an understanding of lighting allows you to control how much dramatic and scenic you want each project you want them to be. According to Blood Ravens, I covered the armor with burnt red as red is the magic color of the successor chapter. Do not apply the paint too thick or it would ruin the earlier lighting intention. You can also do this with normal brush, but you need to thin the paint real thin. Be patient and apply little by little, layer by layer. I just prefer to buy me some time with tools, so I used airbrush instead. Then, black red is what I use to soften the transitioning between burnt red and original black, aka shadowy parts, so the whole image would look natural and color edges would not be too harsh. And again, I wouldn't try to apply the layer to be an absolute pure black red. This also creates different volumes of the black red itself, which wouldn't overtake certain parts to look bland. The concept of lighting illusion basically is to create contrast, which is an extreme difference of light and shadow. In this case, the usage of black red already pulled down the value of shadow. So now we're going to pull up the highlight of the armor by casting under light with German yellow. I learned the technique from good fellows from a painting community to use other colors as the underlight rather than just tones of whites. I would say I really like this technique, which allows me to experience with undertones and colors. You can convey the mood of the miniature as you want if you can balance colors, value, and hue with the appropriate tone of what you're trying to express. Then I applied blood red onto German yellow area, aka the highlight. As you can see, blood red is actually popped with the help of German yellow underneath. Moving on to the shoulder pads, I used silver gray as the base color. This took me quite layers to complete a full coverage. I usually don't apply the whitest white onto any surface so that I would be able to control values of light and darkness. But I want to have some fun and roll with experimental discovery myself. It will either work or fail. Next, I apply a grass earth shade onto the surface to tune down the whiteness of the base. I also want the shade to do its work by creating stain texture, So I kinda scribbly apply the color onto the surface twice. Double trouble. I honestly never get along with using sponge. I still don't really know how to properly apply colors with it. And again, the outcome is not ugly, but this does not turn out pretty neither. But it's not the end of the career, right? I believe I will and I can learn until I understand in the end. By the way, the color I'm using is called Dead White. Here is the challenging part, the Blood Raven symbol. I found 2 Raven designs and I like the one with the face turned. Since they don't have an official decals, I freehanded the design onto his left shoulder. I started with sketching a rough raven to evaluate the basic lines and shapes, then refine details later on. It actually looks a little too big as I probably adjust the size. I'm sorry I couldn't show you the whole process of drawing the raven, because most of the time it looked like this. But I could show you most of his right shoulder. I drew an arrow like normal Battle Brothers. It turned out kinda like this. Then apply more black layer of camera to smoothen the layer and to fill the space. Like how I did with Titus, I used Dark Reaper and Glacier Blue to paint volume of black without suppressing black property. There are many black undertones you can experience with, but I chose blue undertone for the past projects, including this one. If you're wondering how I did him, feel free to check out my previous video on my channel. Thank you in advance! For metal parts, I still use basalt gray and ice yellow like previous project. According to Dawn of War, the Imperialists usually came with golden plates, but I used a reference with Warhammer Wiki instead. I just kinda get tired of golden themes, so why not turn it silver instead, yeah? I used in-game Dawn of War reference for his gun, which has golden parts underneath. I think it looks new to me because I am so used to make single color guns, so I followed this cool design. I painted charred brown for golden prime color, then green brown as another layer to lighten the light casting parts. And to make these parts more golden, I used Sahara yellow as golden true tone. Since the sequence looks closer to be golden but still lacks soft highlight, I then used ice yellow to convince the shininess of the material. I later drew blood symbol on Raven's chest with the same color set of his armor, which are German yellow, burnt red, and blood red. Here we are, the blood ravens that was painted by me. I tried to recreate different terrain out of my comfort zone, like forest elements. I actually like the whole picture of what I finished. I think I did a blending and lighting better than my previous ones. I did a desert-like base, but it obviously doesn't look great. I over-applied too much hot glue and that has made the base mushy, glossy, and lost some of its texture. Unlike real desert, where it should look dry and crumbly. I should change the method of shade application on his shoulder. Since the finishing is obviously glossier than his other parts, that's not what I really want. Maybe just matte acrylic might be enough. But let's move on and start with another project and let's see what I'll discover next. Thank you for staying until the end. I am so glad you guys support me. If you like my content, you can support me via subscribing my channel, liking my videos, and you can always share your ideas so that we can improve together. Stay tuned for the next video and don't forget to stay creative. Bye bye!